are the animals?
Yeah.
Who are the animals, Cenk? Who are the animals? Because I'm getting real sick of people on social media referring to Palestinian civilians as animals. Because every story that we've covered, everything that we've investigated and looked into, does not really show Palestinians behaving as animals. It shows the IDF behaving as animals. People who feel real good about themselves, shooting their weapons at desperate people as they swarm a humanitarian aid truck.
Because you, America, for making me pay, or for making me work 4 fucking jobs, 4 jobs, while I'm in college in rural fucking Tennessee, and I can barely pay my own fucking rent, and I'm taking 19 credit hours on top of those 4 fucking jobs, and I still can't graduate on time, and I still can't graduate early, even though I'm taking 21 credit hours next semester! It's not fucking fair. It's not fucking fair anymore. It's never been fair, not in my lifetime. And will it ever be fair? No, because I'm a woman in America. Oh my God. I just want to live in peace, America. And I will one day. Probably somewhere fucking else. Anyways, look how cute my nails are.
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! You will see! You will see! You will see! You will see! Palestine will be free! 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 Palestine will be free!
Monsieur Meyer Habib, vous avez dit tout à l'heure que certaines personnes à l'extrême gauche ont glorifié les crimes du Hamas. Pas chez nous. Personne chez nous n'a fait cela. Et vous devriez réécouter ce que nous avons dit, car nous avons été les premiers à qualifier de crimes de guerre et de potentiels crimes contre l'humanité les actes du 7 octobre. Maintenant, monsieur Meyer Habib, vous parlez d'islamisme et d'islamo-gauchisme comme jadis. L'extrême droite parlait de judéo-bolchevisme à propos du fait que certaines personnes étant de gauche défendaient les juifs contre l'antisémitisme dont ils étaient victimes. Et bien de même aujourd'hui, nous sommes traités d'islamo-gauchistes parce que nous défendons nos compatriotes musulmans contre l'islamophobie dont ils sont victimes. Mais, monsieur Habib, l'islamisme est notre adversaire au même titre que l'extrême droite. Pour la raison suivante, c'est que l'islamisme et l'extrême droite sont les deux faces d'une même pièce qui divisent le peuple sur la base de la religion. Mais vous, monsieur Habib, lorsqu'il était question de Gaza, vous avez dit « ça va continuer et c'est pas fini » à propos des bombardements à Gaza. Vous, monsieur Habib, vous avez incité le gouvernement d'Israël à continuer les bombardements. Vous devriez avoir honte de votre comportement et de ce que vous êtes en train de faire à l'intérieur de notre Assemblée nationale. Ça suffit d'inventer des antisémites qui n'en sont pas. Ça suffit de traiter d'islamo-gauchistes ceux qui défendent le droit de nos compatriotes musulmans à exercer librement leur religion dans le pays qui garantit par la Déclaration des droits de l'homme et du citoyen le droit à exercer librement sa religion. Voilà qui nous sommes, des humanistes qui défendent le droit à chacun d'exercer librement sa religion et à ne pas se faire traiter en raison de sa couleur de peau ou précisément de sa religion. Vous devriez suivre cet exemple, monsieur Habib.
Friendly reminder, if you're okay with what's been happening to the people in Gaza, you've lost your mind and humanity. That's all. Have a nice day.
Nosotros, respecto a la situación en Gaza, tenemos una posición que es de principio: el respeto irrestricto a los derechos humanos que está siendo violado de manera flagrante por parte del ejército de Israel y el gobierno del señor Netanyahu. Y eso lo pueden ver ustedes diariamente con las imágenes terribles que nos llegan desde Gaza, con niños, mujeres asesinados a mansalva, con gente que está al borde de la muerte de hambre, con una destrucción que conversábamos con Pedro, tardará cerca de 30 años en recuperarse. Por lo tanto, en una feria como la FIDAE, excluir o no invitar a empresas que de una u otra manera están siendo parte de aquello que criticamos, me parece que es coherente con nuestra política internacional. Lo mismo hizo el presidente Piñera cuando suspendió la invitación a Rusia de la participación de la FIDAE cuando se realizó la invasión a Ucrania en febrero del año 2022. Por lo tanto, yo entiendo que en función de la crítica política o de las trincheras contingentes se ataquen estas decisiones, pero acá yo defiendo principios y me siento orgulloso de hacerlo, porque lo que está sucediendo en Gaza es inaceptable y no me parecería ni prudente ni coherente que empresas israelíes vengan a exponer armamento a Chile en estas condiciones.
What is it on the so you two differ on the Israel issue?
Completely. Like, we couldn't be more far apart if we tried.
What is her stance?
Oh, she is Zionist to the core. She is a Zionist to the core. Whether or not it's ideological or AIPAC induced, I don't know. And to be honest, I really don't care why. But I can probably surmise that she and I were raised pretty similarly on that. We're both Ashkenazi Jews raised in the United States, and we were raised, and in general, in this country, to be very anti-Arab. We are raised to think that Arabs are lesser, less civilized, dirty, and want to kill us. That is brainwashed into us from a very young age, and it's absurd. And it's taken me the better part of 10 years to deprogram myself. And then once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so now I feel like this might be the hill that I die on. I have a lot of regret. I was used as a tool in ethnic cleansing when I was in Israel. I was there as a teenager. They take groups over there all the time on mass propaganda tours. I was there on a program called Alexander Muss High School in Israel. And we lived there in dorms for 6 weeks. And you study and go visit the places. And all the while is constant Zionist brainwashing and propagandizing. And I've realized that where they were taking us was to places that we weren't supposed to be. And we, of course, thought it was so cool because you're traveling with an armed guard and he's got this big machine gun and we're in high school and oh, how cool, we have our own armed guard. But you really have to wonder who uses human shields when you're sending teenagers somewhere where you think they need an assault rifle to protect them. So clearly we were places we weren't supposed to be. And I also know that they have us planting trees in parts of East Jerusalem. Well, now it might not be that, but that was where we were planting. And now I know what I was doing. And at the time I had no idea what I was doing. So I have a lot of like a personal atonement in my part in ethnic cleansing, but that's why this will be the hill that I now have to die on. And this woman sits there and has our entire Congress sign a resolution that says that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and stood on the steps of our Capitol and actually said that if somebody doesn't support that, they have no soul. Now, personally, I believe that if anybody is an expert on the soul list, it is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So, you know, kudos to her on knowing that. But the scariest part, Kim, is that other than a handful of people, they all signed that. So in other words, if I walk into Congress with enough money and say 2 + 2 is 5, they'll sign that too. And that has put me over the edge. I will spend every breath I have telling people that Zionism and Judaism are completely different things. In fact, Zionism is anti-Semitic, and as a program has been using the Jews forever.
So I am here today to show my solidarity with the people of Palestine and with all of the people of the UK who are very bravely upholding our democratic rights to be able to come out onto the streets and show our displeasure in a very peaceful and loving and strong way.
And why do you think that more public figures like yourself aren't coming out and speaking up in support of Palestine?
I'm not sure why more public figures aren't coming out and speaking about Palestine. I feel like, you know, clearly there is risk in it because the risk of being labelled an anti-Semite almost immediately, which is what happened to me. And so I think people are worried they feel like they've got too much to lose. Personally, I think that this is the biggest spiritual quest of our time, and I can do nothing but be a part of this movement and be a part of this fight. I feel like this is not just for the people of Palestine, who are currently experiencing the worst thing I've ever seen, I've ever lived through on planet Earth. So for me, like my empathy is at such a level that I literally can do nothing but as much as I could possibly do to call for a ceasefire immediately, to stop the horrific suffering that is happening to Palestinian people, particularly to Palestinian children and to Palestinian women, Palestinian civilians, but also because it's something that is happening here is striking at the very heart of all of our freedoms and our ability to call for something better. There is something about what is being represented, what is symbolic somehow, and I can't quite put it into very good erudite phrases or words, but there's something about the Palestinian cause right now, which means the freedom and the betterment of society and civilization for all of us. If we want to live in a different sort of and have a different future, which isn't completely reliant upon or completely in submission to capitalist interests, if we want to have a society that is built on community and compassion and love, and that centres life, and that centres children, and that centres women and mothers, So I am here for all of those reasons today, mostly in solidarity with my Palestinian brothers and sisters and siblings, but also in solidarity with my brothers and sisters and siblings in the UK who are wanting to fight this oppression.